So Justin Herbert had a fantastic day against the Kansas City Chiefs. Really looked good out there. Nearly propelled his team to a victory. Let's just get into it. We'll start things off with the play you see on your screen. This is going to be it's really a footwork play. And the reason why I want to show this is because one of my biggest concerns about him coming out of college was his fundamentals. He was not very fundamentally sound. And you really saw with, that affected his accuracy. And it was kind of a question mark of, is he just inaccurate or is it the fundamentals affecting his accuracy? And one thing I was very optimistic about heading into this season was I saw some practice tape. I actually made a video on it where I saw some practice tape where his fundamentals looked significantly better, and that intrigued me. So obviously, if it was better in practice, you would assume it's better in the game as well, and it clearly was. I mean, just watch his footwork here and watch how he's gonna. It's gonna be a quick. The play itself is he's a fake handoff. He runs a screen to the bottom of the screen. But I like how watch how he's gets down to sell the fake, but then quickly gets his feet back square and is in position to make this throw. He wasn't doing that in college. In college, he was very much just sort of throwing flat-footed, throwing off balance. He wasn't taking that time that he needed to get his feet square and get his feet in position. And so because of the fact that he has been able to work on his fundamentals a lot, he looks a lot better, I think. I think it's actually made a huge difference. I personally was not a fan of the draft pick when it happened, but you know what? I think, I don't want to overreact to one game. I think I'm almost ready to admit that I'm wrong already. I think I probably will admit that because I think that clearly he's improved a lot as a player. So, I didn't know if he was going to be able to improve to be a really good prospect. In my opinion, now after one game, after what I've seen him do, not just because he had good stats, but because what I've actually seen him do and improve on his weaknesses and turn them into strengths, I do think that he's a different quarterback to me than he was when he was drafted. He really is. Was he perfect? No. Let's get into the negatives, and then we'll talk some positives, why don't we? This one you could argue is a negative or positive. It's a 3rd down and 4. You have a tight end running out. He's going to try and get in the way of the safety who's covering Eckler, the halfback. That's the way this play is going to work. And as you see right when it starts, you notice that Eckler is in a position where it looks like he could get open, but kind of like the longer this play develops, the longer it'll take him to get open. And in my opinion, if I'm coaching Herbert, I'm saying, hey, just get him the ball right now. Don't worry about trying to let him finish his route. Herbert is under pressure. Herbert has to get rid of the ball in a hurry. So Herbert is going to kind of try to lob it up there. And this ends up being a great play from Eckler to come back and make the play. And I'm assuming that was part of why Herbert decided to do it, is because he said, hey, I have Austin Eckler. Why not? I'm totally cool with taking this chance. Whereas if he had a lesser back, maybe he doesn't take that chance. So that certainly probably factors in. At the same time, kind of a risk I don't really think he needs to take. But you know what? If it works out, it works out. I'm not going to kill him for that one by any means. But let's talk about the interception. Because let's be honest, that one was a nitpick. And, you even saw like he faked the handoff to the wrong side of the screen on one play. But, that was just because he's new. He's young and he's learning, which is fine. The interception is the one that he's probably going to get the most killed for. What's happening here is that this is going to be zone coverage, and Allen is running a route over the middle that's going to basically be designed to beat the safety, where he kind of fakes it though he's running up, then it's going to run back towards the bottom of the screen. That's the way this play is designed to work. And what's going to happen is that Herbert, he fakes a handoff, is able to get outside the pocket, elects to not run for the first down, instead throws the ball deep, and you can see why he decided to make this throw, because clearly what he was thinking is that you see the Kansas City player in white, he sees Keenan Allen and the player who I've circled in white. Those are the two guys. He doesn't see that there's another Kansas City player who's running over to make this play. He just didn't realize what coverage it was. That's simply all it came down to. He made a bad read on this play. He thought it was a different coverage, so he thought he had Keenan Allen open. He did not. And Tony Romo said in the broadcast that sometimes as a young player, you need to make this mistake to know to not do it in the future. And I kind of agree with that. It's the kind of thing where in college, these things don't really happen the same way they do in the pros. So these are the kind of mistakes he has to make if he's going to get better. And that's kind of why I think it makes sense to keep him out there and have him start playing games, especially because clearly he's ready enough to play. But yeah, okay, enough of me nitpicking, because he was great. He really was. I'm not trying to throw him under the bus. I think he was really good. And maybe my favorite play he made was this one, where it's going to be a cover 3 zone and to have 2 receivers running deep on the top of the screen. And so this is interesting, right? Because, there's good and bad about this. The good is that you're going to have a numbers advantage. You have 2 receivers in the area. There will only be 1 Kansas City player in that area. The disadvantage is that, you're not spread out enough. So maybe that 1 Kansas City player can cover 2 guys. Also, keep in mind the situation. This is 3rd down and goal at the 14. This is the same situation that with about, I believe it's 7-8 seconds left, you saw Cincinnati not trusting Joe Burrow to, potentially make a mistake in that one. Not exactly the same situation, of course, because there's plenty of time left in the half here. But similar situation. This time, Anthony Lynn trusting his young quarterback. And as you see, there is maybe an opening right here. This play works out to some degree. The Kansas City player can't cover both of them entirely, so he is kind of in the middle right here. And Herbert is going to say, you know what, I'm going to take this chance. But what I like about this from Herbert is he knows where he can throw this ball. He knows that, hey, you have extra space up. You don't have to throw this ball in an area where it's going to land in the end zone. Throw it out of the end zone, let your receiver catch it, and save it from going out of the end zone. That's what he's going to do. This is an incredibly accurate throw, which results in a touchdown. And that's good defense. That's better offense. That's really what that came down to. Just an incredible throw. And that's kind of why the Chargers drafted him. Their mindset was clearly, yeah, he might have some fundamental issues, but we think we can fix those issues. And we would rather have a guy who is a great physical talent who maybe needs to work on the mental game a little bit than a guy who's a great, high IQ guy, but is never going to have the physical tools to be a franchise quarterback. Herbert, everyone has always universally agreed he has the franchise tool, or he has the physical tools to be a franchise quarterback. The question has always sort of just been fundamentals, accuracy, and IQ. Well, his fundamentals look great, his accuracy looks great, and his IQ looks like a rookie, but that's to be expected. And, he still definitely did make some good reads. And again, when we talk about accuracy, this one was a great one. It's going to be a zone coverage. He has a receiver running kind of in an area where it's going to be in the eye of the storm in the middle of the field. There may be a small window where he can try and make this play. And as you see, pressure comes quickly, so he just says YOLO, throws it there. Not a huge window here, right? Not a huge window whatsoever. But one thing that helps is that, I know it's blurry, you can't really read the number, but the number is 13. That's Keenan Allen he's throwing to. And it's also just a complete strike, which results in a big completion. Just a great play from Herbert. Now, the one thing I guess I will say, if I'm going to be negative Nancy here a little bit, is you don't want to get Baker Mayfield syndrome, right? Where you saw Baker his first season, he was throwing the ball downfield, and he was getting a bunch of big completions and big catches, and everyone was so impressed with that, and he would throw a bunch of interceptions too, but everyone kind of said, whatever, he's a rookie. And, the good plays get considered good plays, and the bad plays get considered rookie mistakes, so everyone hypes you up, but then you don't learn to cut down on the rookie mistakes, because in your 3rd year, you can't still be making rookie mistakes. And for Herbert, he has to make sure he does that. Where, yes, this play worked, but figure out if you can do it consistently or if you can't do it consistently. And if you can't, don't do it. It's great that you can do it, but the consistency is going to be key. Same thing with the interception. It's listen, it's not a big deal because you're a rookie, but also you do have to learn to not be doing this, and you want to ideally next season not be doing this, which is why I think having him out there would be a very good thing. Even though it seems like Tyrod Taylor might still end up being the starter if he's healthy, which is just bizarre, in my opinion. That makes no sense to me. But yeah, as a whole, I thought this is everything you could have asked for, and then some for a rookie quarterback. Fantastic performance by him. He nearly beat the defending champs. The team itself was also very surprisingly good. Very fun to watch. What did you guys think of Herbert? Are you with me that, hey, I was kind of wrong about this one, and that's okay. You know what? We're going to have some misses. He looked great. Very fun to see. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.